Personally, I hate playing this matchup. She will outscale you really hard in side lane, and in lane, you literally just have to perma play around her parry and her vitals. It is very difficult to get a reliable pull onto her because she can perma parry it, but at least that way she won't be able to parry out your ulti, because yeah, she can actually do that. It can also be easier to line up a Q on her if you know she's going to dash with her own Q into a vital. Bramble Vest is essential for this lane or you will get completely dumpstered on. The first early game power spike that you have that is actually significant is Rylai's. Fiora's Q dash speed scales with her actual movement speed. So the lower speed she has, the slower the Q dash will be. This means that when you get Rylai, if your passive is up, her Q dash will take longer to complete. And this can actually swing fights. You're generally better than her in team fights, so you can look to play for those. It's better to just perma clear the side lanes and never allow her to split push, then rotate to a fight afterwards. Even though I died here, at least I'm lucky that I can get the Bramble Vest on the very first recall. I can win the 1v1 here, but the issue is that her parry is up, so if I try to ult, she most likely will parry it. What I look to do is ultimate at a very unpredictable time, which will lower the chance of it getting parried. It's still not a guarantee to work, but it is the best option I have here. Here I thought I was completely fine against Sylas because I see that he stole Caitlyn's ultimate and he's not gonna use it point blank because he will literally stop himself in place. But it was actually Nico's ultimate and I had no idea because it was a visual bug. I know Fiora still has her parry up, but I want to try to dive her. I use my ultimate here, and if she actually parries it, this is completely fine for me, because then I can line up a Q and still hit her. I thought she would parry as I walked towards her, but she actually held it until the very last second, and then I do a horrendous misplay. Luckily, I don't die, but honestly, I deserved to.
Destroyed a turret.
This is actually a very tough Mordekaiser matchup. I have tried a ton of different setups, and for the time being, running Exhaust with these runes is what has helped the most. Tryndamere basically mega stat checks you in melee range every single time. If he jumps on you and you both fight from full health, he will still win, even though you have exhaust. He also has a lot of sustain due to his Q, so it's going to be difficult to poke him out fully. The most reliable way I have found to actually beating him is to go for a specific 2-core build, which is rushing plated steel caps, then getting a full Zhonya's, and then Randuin, with W max second. This will give you a lot of armor, especially on your first item, and the stasis effect from Zhonya's, which is really good at stalling out his ultimate. W max second also helps out a lot to make sure that whenever he spins on your head to look to trade, you can actually always have the W up later on and sustain your health back. Recently, I've faced more Tryndamere players that rush Yuntal, but if the Tryndamere rushes Ravenous Hydra first, you can take an Oblivion Orb in between the Zhonya's and the Randuin. Around level 13, you should have both Randuin and Zhonya's on top of plated steel caps. You will actually be able to 1v1 him at this point with this 2-core because you will be able to get off 2 W's in a single fight. You get 1 W at the very beginning of the fight that you pop once you get the shield fully stacked, and then you can get a second W in around the halfway point to the fight. You may even be able to get a third one if you use your Zhonya's. The crit reduction from Randuin is absolutely insane versus him. Combined with the stasis effect, that essentially means you can waste 2.5 seconds of his ultimate, because he can't actually attack you while you are in the stasis. Means that you're finally able to put up a very good fight against him. You can actually look to both perma side lane versus him and team fight. If you go into team fights, you can usually just ult him after he uses his own ultimate so that it runs out in the realm. That way you just straight up kill him. You will actually be able to win the side lane fight in the late game, so don't be afraid to just sit there and bash turrets. If you want to look to just perma team fight though, make sure you always push out the side lanes, or else he will melt your turrets and can threaten to take your base very quickly. As for the Echo gank here, this wasn't a bad trade at all. I burn Tryndamere Ignite and Echo Flash and I make it a 1-for-1, and I get both tier 1 boots and 2 cloth armors. I am already starting to spike up my tankiness. The second I see Echo, I know there's no way out for me. So what I actually do is walk back and force Tryndamere to ult. We trade ult, but I am completely fine with this because he is way more ult reliant in this matchup than me, so I don't care if mine is down.
An ally has been slain.
I actually didn't want to full commit to this fight because I wasn't sure if his ulti would be up or not. Base cooldown wise, it is lower than mine, and I wasn't sure if me using it a bit sooner, plus the ability haste that I have over him, meant that his was still on cooldown. If it was, we could maybe kill here because I could ult and look for the kill angle under turret, but I was not 100% on it. Here I know for a fact that my ultimate will come up faster than his. If I use my ult the second it comes up, I can maybe look for a dive. I'm gonna explain as to why the turret shot did such little damage here. Normally you would expect it to deal a big damage number now because it's been charged up so much. But there is a specific interaction between Mordekaiser's ultimate and the way the tower does its damage. I am not entirely sure on it because I haven't looked at it in a long time and I simply don't remember. But essentially the turret loses its charges between the realm and the Summoner's Rift. If the turret is fully charged on Summoner's Rift, when you enter the realm, it might not be fully charged at all and just end up dealing the regular damage. Like the very first instance of damage. This is also the case for when you actually exit the realm. I don't know the exact thing that triggers it, and I don't know if it's an inconsistency or not, or even if it is intended, but once I actually exit the realm, you can see the turret shot dealt way less damage than you would expect it to deal. Here Tryndamere goes to proxy and I actually manage to stop him. I burn his ignite and his ulti and make him go off of the wave. So this is a very big win in my books.
Turret plating will soon fall.
I end up getting Oblivion Orb here, and it's going to help out a lot to deal with his Ravenous Hydra healing.
Triple kill.
I'm actually doing quite well in this lane now, so I am tempted to just max my E all the way. But I think I end up putting 3 or 4 points into E and then doing the full max into W after. I think if I actually use my ultimate first and then Zhonya's, it might change the outcome and I could live, but I'm not 100% sure. Normally, I actually don't go for the 10% tenacity and slow resistant to Aatrox and instead go either scaling or flat health, but because they had Morgana Q ult and Seraphine E ult, I wanted to have just a little bit of extra tenacity. This matchup is actually quite skilled and both parties can do a lot to outplay each other. Aatrox can dash out of your Q and pull, you can use your ultimate to get rid of his chain if he uses it first, you can both Q each other at the same time. There's quite a lot of skill expression in it. Most of the time what I look to do is try to play it slowly-ish, unless Aatrox overcommits or I find a very good opening to fight him, and just wait out either my Oblivion Orb or Oblivion Orb and Rylai's. The Rylai spike is very powerful in this lane because once you get it, he cannot escape you. The only way he might be able to space you out is if he has Swifts and pops ult. Normally I go Liandry's second into Aatrox, but because we have 4 ability power champions on our team, he might just go into something like Maw second with Mercs, and then I feel like Bloodletter second would be way more valuable. I would also really like to go plated Steel Caps into him, but I think Mercs provide me more value, even though it would be weaker for the laning phase, because the Mercs MR and Tenacity don't do anything against him. I bought an early Seekers right after Rylai, and I was contemplating on whether or not to go into Bloodletters now or just finish the Zhonya's, and I end up finishing the Zhonya's. One important thing to note here is that the Zhonya's cooldown is fully refreshed. Even though I had just used the stasis from the Seekers, it does not matter, and it fully refreshes the Zhonya's effect. So the next time I'm back up, I can instantly use Zhonya's if I need it. I have to let Blitz ult first and then use my W. His ultimate breaks shields, so if I W first and then he ults, it goes away. He actually played it really smartly and used his ultimate as late as he could into the fight, so that even if I wait out his ult usage, I wouldn't be able to cast my W because the ultimate also has a silence on it. Thank you guys for joining me in this video. I hope you found the information useful, and I will see you in the next video, hopefully very soon.
I am favored by the gods and awaited in the Hall of Bones.